with just the meat on my bones. No radio or phone. It takes a powerful muse, a desire to abuse. Take the turnpike down to this backwater town, past the truckers and whores, and past the darkening doors where flesh is passed by the container load, and rides the big, big road. Past the nuclear clouds and through a psychopath stream, cast like a stone to sea. I cast my glance towards thee. In the dry, brittle heat, past the toll taker's seat, one destination in mind. Terrified what I'd find, roll the dice, gonna shoot my load upon the big, big road. But when I got to her place, I found no smile on her face. It wasn't her face at all. It disappeared down a hall. So I turned and I ran, skid marks on my hands, was devastated and sad, lost what I never had. My windshield smeared, I felt my heart explode and hit the big, big road. Get your feet up off the dashboard. What the hell you think it's there for? At least try to look pretty. We're going back to New York City. Get your feet off of the dashboard. What the hell you think it's there for? At least try to look pretty. We're going back to New York. Well, how's everybody doing? The crowd's getting bigger all the time. The thing about playing for a small crowd is you got them outnumbered. If any stuff breaks out, I'll just start stacking you one at a time. Nicole, you leaving already? Okay, because that guy may not know stuff about you that I know, so you better be cool. Okay, this is the first song I really ever wrote, guys. I wrote this song when I was 19, which puts it somewhere, I think, in the Truman administration. And I'd like to dedicate this to my second wife and my third car. I still miss that car. 1972 green Dodge Dart. Held together by scotch tape, a bubble gum, and a prayer, but it got me both hither and yon. So here you go. Well, I am made of stone, sealing wax and skin and bone. You were not alone. I couldn't get you on the phone. I was so independent, but I just didn't know. When are you coming downtown? When are you going there? I don't know. Now most of the people I've met, They'll take big chances every chance they get without the slightest regret. I see them walk in the rain, get their clothes all wet. It's sad to see them suffer, but it's fun to watch them grow. When are you coming downtown? When are you going there? I don't know. You were a pretty crutch, a piece of wood cold to the touch. Things being as such, it really didn't matter all that much. The weeks turn into hours and the days all pass too slow. When are you coming downtown? When are you going there? I don't know. So say hello to Jay. So sad to hear she went insane. Me, I feel no pain, and I'm much too tired to play these games. I stare nightly out my window, and I watch the wind that blows. And someday you come downtown, but I just don't know when, I just don't know. Thank you very much. I think I'll, is that you holding up your hands like you have a question? Okay. You know, I was up in my room ruminating, sad that there wouldn't be that many people here, but I started worrying. Then I remembered I once opened for Smash Mouth at a biker rally in Sioux City in front of 20,000 people. I don't know fear. Not anymore. So I'm going to do a little medley of my hit. Since this is storytellers, I'll tell the story behind this song a little bit. There's a radio station up in Council Bluffs, Iowa. And we'll get back to Council Bluffs in a minute. And it's called 89.7 The River. Really nice kids run that place, Iowa Wesley Community College. They play a certain subgenre of rock and roll. They play bands like Five Finger Death Punch. I don't particularly care for Your Mother's Appearance. Nickelback. I always thought Nickelback was a refund. Shows you how little I knew. But anyway, inexplicably, they've been playing this song for about 7 or 8 years now. Now, they usually play it at about 2 or 3 in the morning on Sunday when there's only like hookers and hockey players listening. And tonight is not the first time I've ever wondered exactly what position it is that I play, but this goes out to all the lovely kids at Iowa Wesley Community College and 89.7 The River for the modesty of their interest in my career. Well, I had limousine sex, and I seen tenements slum. I've been puzzled and vexed like the last Bowery bum. New York City blue. New York City blue. strangled in sorrow, and I've been mangled in bliss. I dragged my $100 shoes through puddles of piss. New York City New York City blue. Well, I bought the Brooklyn Bridge, I danced in Union Hall, I seen the tall ships sail, I seen the towers fall. Made 4 girls scream, I made 3 girls cry, I stole 2 girls' dreams, seen 1 girl die. New York City blue. New York City. So if I feel tomorrow like I feel today, well, I'm gonna pack my guitar and make my getaway from this New York City blue. New York City blue. So anyway, so where were we? We were in Council Bluffs. I am remiss. We skipped right over Council Bluffs. Has anybody here, and I mean both patrons and wait staff, ever actually been into the hills of Council Bluffs? It's like Noah's Ark up there. There's like 2 of every animal. I went up there one Thanksgiving evening, and you know, this song came out of it, and it just goes to show, as the years have passed. First of all, I barely got home alive, and when I did, I got together with the estate of George Harrison, and we wrote this song together. I believe I have provisional permission to record it, so they have these old women in house dresses that chew tobacco and massage their rifles, and they have the daughter who's a lawyer who voted for Trump and likes to pick her teeth with what used to be my dreams. And then she has a daughter who's a virtuoso guitar player and is only about 7 years old. Well, she's probably an adult by now, but I hated these people at the time, and I had a horrible reaction. I wrote this horrible, hateful song, but as the years have passed, I actually come to like them. So it just goes to show that, sometimes friends can become enemies, sometimes enemies can become real friends. And whatever you do, if you're going out with a girl, don't let your friend, especially if he's a drummer, date her daughter, because hijinks tend to ensue. Ergo, there are witches in the hills at Council Bluffs. This is punk rock. I need just the right touch for punk rock. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Johnny. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, I met them at the bar, but I took it way too far. I just didn't know enough about the witches in the hills of Council Bluffs. I was warned to stay away. You're not strong enough, they'd say. A danger even I could see, but they make you feel so free and Council Bluffs. From the sacred to profane, I barely memorized her name. I only loved her for one day, and then poof, she went away to Council Bluffs. Council Bluffs, Council Bluffs. How I loved you, how I loved you. A matriarch with buck-deer scars, succubus with tarot cards. Only the child remains untorn, but how long till she's transformed the Council Bluffs? Law degrees and buffalo cheese, gypsy bracelets on their sleeves, liars, pimps, and fakes, and witches in the hills of Council Bluffs. Council Bluffs, Council Bluffs. How I loved you, how I loved you. Well, I got home a mess. How I did is your good guess. The last bus driver was home in bed, but at least I didn't end up dead in Council Bluffs. There are witches in the hills of Council Bluffs. Witches in the hills of Council Bluffs. Witches in the hills of Council Bluffs. Thank you both. So, where was I? Oh, I went from New York to Council Bluffs. It was lateral, a lateral maneuver at best. No, this is a family crowd. So this is another anniversary now that I think about it. June 30th is replete with poignancy in my life. We got to go all the way back to June 30th, 1997. Yeah, I was, after I had kicked the slats out of my crib, it was a night like tonight, only it was raining. I was with my friend Joe, who's Julia now, but that's another story. And we left our hotel lobby in Kowloon, the Kowloon Shangri-La 5-star hotel. And we went down to watch the handover ceremonies on Victoria Harbor. Across Victoria Harbor on the Hong Kong side, there's a building that's the exact replica of the Sydney Opera House with a white pagoda roof. And it was interesting. In the rain, I was standing there with a crowd of about 50,000 people. All 5'9" of me. I was like the third or fourth tallest person there. A couple of English basketball players and a girl, we'll just call her Kimberly, but everybody else was shorter than me. Anyway, so we watched the handover festivities, and it was raining, so we went back to our respective rooms. And it was kind of an odd juxtaposition. I was kind of watching Prince Charles sail away with the Union Jack in my right eye. And in my left eye, I was watching it on CNN International. I had a moment of grace, and I had an epiphany because I took stock. It was 10 o'clock at night. I was 10,000 miles away from home. I had this gorgeous hotel suite facing with a harbor view of Victoria Harbor. For the first time and only time in my life, I had tons of cash. My boss, Joe, who's now Julia, but that's another story, he had retired to his room. And I thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to sleep now? Nope. I went down to the lobby, hopped into a cab, and I took a cab to the up the peak to the mid-level serviceman bars, looking for female companionship. It was June 30th, 1997. It was the handover. There was people everywhere. Despite my obvious charm 20 years ago, I returned to the hotel 3 a.m. alone. And I was walking through this opulent, nothing wrong with the RL Hotel in Omaha, but this is like an opulent 5-star hotel the night of the handover. There's men walking in peony tuxedos. Women in multi-$1,000 gowns walking through this opulent lobby, going to and from the handover balls and such. And I stumbled across a little cocktail lounge in the lobby of the hotel. And I walked in, and there was a Chinese mariachi band. And they were playing a Arrivederci Roma. And suddenly I had another epiphany. 3 in the morning, July 1st, 1997. Poignant moment in history. I'm so jet-lagged that I'm yawning like a hippopotamus. I should point out I was also flying a little bit on some substance of questionable legality that I took with me, but that's another story. And I was just struck by the beauty and poignancy and sadness of the moment, and I just started weeping. I mean, I don't mean weeping like, wow, this is a poignant moment in real world history. I started weeping like a 10-year-old girl kneeling beside her dead pony. So I went back to my room. I wrote this song. I met a girl who was mad in silence, living somewheres in Connecticut. It ended quickly and in violence, 'cause I could not keep my big mouth shut, 'cause of you, 'cause of you. Nothing I would not do to get through to you. Nothing I would not do. She wasn't the first one who used dope. In fact, there have been many. And even though her name was Hope, she didn't offer any. 'Cause of you, 'cause of you. Nothing I would not do to get through to you. Nothing I would not do. Her heart was like a shuttered door, and the sign said, "Don't disturb." I never asked her what the wrench was for. I never had the nerve. 'Cause of you, 'cause of you. Nothing I would not do to get through to you. Nothing I would not do. 'Cause of you, 'cause of you, 'cause of you. Her eyes were like a broken bone, and her lips a heart attack. I gave her the keys to my home. I still haven't got them back. 'Cause of you, 'cause of you. Nothing I would not do to get through to you. Nothing I would not. So don't you go across state lines, and don't get caught in rain. And don't go drinking vintage wine when you're still underage. 'Cause of you, 'cause of you. Nothing I would not do to get through to you. Nothing I would not do. Thank you. Let's pick it up a little bit. I'm getting a little depressed myself here with these the fumbling fiasco of my stunted sexuality. Let's go back to the time I broke into a man's garage on Christmas Eve, and hijinks again ensued. It was Brooklyn. It was the 70s. And I was cold, and I was hungry, and no one was returning my calls. So, years later, I stole a riff from Gordon Lightfoot and turned it into a hard rock song. He kind of did that, and I always thought this is like a cool folky ballad. There's still love. Gordon, all right, yeah, cool, but that would be a great hard rock song, like the Stones. The Clash should have covered it. So I just stole it. Well, on Christmas Eve, I broke into some man's garage. I was looking through his tools and checking out his Dodge. I was cold and hungry. No one returned my calls. I would have blown my brains out, but I didn't have the balls. When the lights came on and I heard somebody scream. Well, my heart was palpitating and I wanted to run, but that man was big. Besides, he had a gun. I thought to myself, what am I gonna do now? Rivulets of sweat dripping from my brow. I was scared, man. I didn't know what to do. I was scared, man, but I was hungry too. Breaking and entering on Christmas Eve. Breaking and entering on Christmas Eve. Said, what makes you think you can break in this way? It's 3 a.m. and it's nearly Christmas Day. I could call the cops, I could blow you away, I could end your life right now. I wouldn't do a day. I was scared, man. Suffice to say, well, central booking didn't scare me, cause I've been there before. But I wouldn't last a minute behind the Rikers Island doors. Been waiting for this moment since the minute of my birth. I need holiday forgiveness, a little peace on earth. He said, hey Santa Claus, you better lie on the ground. Well, if a bullet's all you offer for compassion, I just take it now. Breaking and entering on Christmas Eve. Breaking and entering Christmas B&B. Staying at each other, didn't know what he would do. He said, what would you do if you were in my shoes? I said, used to have a family, I used to have a home, had a job and a car, a garage on my own. I'm all alone now, just trying to survive. He said, that's not my problem, buddy, cause we're not friends of kin. It's not my fault, the trouble that you're in. I'm not gonna shoot you, I will not do you harm. I'm not the stupid bastard, put a needle in your arms. He let me go, and I left in disgrace. But before he shoot the door, he threw a $20 bill in my face. Breaking and entering on Christmas Eve. Breaking and entering Christmas B&B. Breaking and entering on Christmas Eve. Breaking and entering Christmas B&B. Breaking and entering on Christmas Eve. Breaking and entering on Christmas Eve. Breaking and entering on Christmas Eve. Breaking and entering Christmas B&B. Thank you. I'm Scott Severin. I wanted to thank again the RL Hotel for having me down this evening. Got a couple of... You want a free bird? Yeah, there's a free bird for you. Take it. No charge. Free bird. After the show, if you want to know some funny stories about illegal substances and Wayne Kramer, holler at me. Holler at your boy. This is a new unrecorded song. Twilight beams through my sad window, but I have never liked the wind or snow. Pour warm white rum in this stale cocoa. I think I love you better when you go. Harvest moon reveals its glow, but it don't tell me nothing I don't know. So I'll dust my broom and my old banjo. I think I love you better when you go. When you go, there's no cause for celebration when you go. Still I'll wear pink carnation and I'll tip my hat and I'll bow real low. I think I love you better when you go. There's no escape from this dark old soul. It follows me wherever I may go. From the highest mast to the decks below, I think I love you better when you go. When you go, I take a Pocono vacation when you go. Maybe visit a foreign nation. I'll just tip my hat and I'll bow real low and watch you smiling sweetly as you go. Well, there's just no happy ending, not in any love I've known. So leave the keys, you can take the tow. I think I love you better when you go. When you go, well, there'll be no illumination when you go. Don't even tell me your destination, because history repeats too slow. I think I love you better when you go. There's just no happy endings, not in any love I've known. So leave the keys, you can take the tow. I think I love you better when you go. Thank you. How are you guys doing tonight? I don't have my glasses, so I can't see you. Do I know you folks? Oh, of course. We went out a couple of times. Nothing yet came of it, but I can't blame you for that. Oh, Johnny went out with her too. You see that? All right, listen, this might be my last or maybe next to last song. So since Melissa's here, this concerns a client of hers. So we're gonna tell this story in dark, penetrating forensic detail. So I was hanging out at the Barley Street Tavern one night, right here in Omaha, Nebraska. And I ran into a client of Melissa's, one Matt Whipke. And Matt was, how can I say this discreetly? Matt was in a state of advanced refreshment. And he grabbed me by the collar and I said, I bet you can't write a song about the whole history of the world. Matthew, please. Of course I can write a song about the history of the whole world. Yeah, well, I bet you can't steal the chorus from Bruce Springsteen. I dated his ex-girlfriend once. Of course I can steal a chorus. He said, all right, well, you got to steal a chord from Paul McCartney. Any guitar players here? G sharp minor 6. I stole it from Paul McCartney. He's looking for it everywhere. I'm keeping it. He said, well, I bet you can't put the chorus into idiomatic Yiddish. Of course I can put the chorus into idiomatic Yiddish. I have Jewish grandparents. And they'd kick your butt if you said such a thing in front of them. So, when I'm asked to sing a song, when the gauntlet is thrown down by a little whippersnapper like Matt Whipke, and his hair, actually I think his hair asked me to do this. I wanted to research my subject matter in painful forensic detail. So I went straight to Wikipedia. And it turns out nothing really interesting happened to like the 13th century. So much for Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. So I started, because I'd been listening to a lot of Joni Mitchell that week, I started on the Isle of Crete in the Mediterranean Sea. Then I made my way to Harlem in the 1950s, where we found my mother running numbers for the Jewish and Italian mafia on 125th Street in 1956. And then somehow I ended up, this character, our protagonist, ended up a 40-something single father in Nebraska, and I did this all without being in any way autobiographical in nature. My name is Scott Severin, and this is Verstehst. Thanks for listening. Gustav heard the voice in 1213 to convert the Muslims to Christianity. So he took the children to the Mediterranean Sea. But most of them drowned or were sold into slavery. So they say, as is told by the leading clerics of the day. But miracles are scarce these days, and Tunisian slavery is all the rage. And with pointed shoes, singing country blues, they marched into the children's crusade. Verstehst? We all came running, verstehst? To the martial drumming, join hands, take stands, resists adult demand. It's too will soon pass away. My mother worked in Harlem in '53. Running numbers and bagging grocery. Till a gypsy told her fortune on the IND. I am told who told her the streets of Flatbush were filled with gold. She got a husband and she got a home. She got me and my brothers and was so alone. On the way cut us deep in ways that could never be cured by mercurochrome. Fish days. We all came running. Fish days. It took all my cunning in so long. Can we now forgive each other both somehow? It's getting closer to the final day. Now I got this little girl, she got her mother's eyes and her father's curls, and I don't know what I'm gonna say when she asks me about the evils in this world. Fish days. We all came running. Fish days. To my guitar strumming, and I know you love me so, and you don't want me to go. Don't know how long I can stay. How long I can stay. We all came running. Fish days. To the marshal drumming, and I know you love me so, you don't want me to go. Don't know how long I can stay. Fish days. We all came running. Fish days. Took all my gunning, and I know you love me so, and you don't want me to go. Don't know how long I can stay. Fish days. Fish days. Thank you. All right. My name is Scott Severin. I think everybody here knows that and knows me, but in case there's anybody who doesn't, I do have CDs and T-shirts available. They're on severe discount. I got a tip jar if anyone wants to throw a penny in. And these songs were all written by me, but last song of the night, I always like to do a cover. Normally I do Prince or, Leslie Gore. Sometimes the Jackson 5. Something, that you wouldn't expect. But I'm going to do this song because it's the first concert I ever saw. guy named Tom Paxton. My dad took me to the show. He's not doing so good tonight, so this is from Mel and Tom. Now, you guys all know this song, and I'm a desperate man, and I'm prone to violence. So I want you to sing the chorus with me. That goes for you too, Melissa. It's a lesson too late for the learning, made of sand, made of sand. In the blinking of an eye, my soul is turning in your hand, in your hand. Are you going away with no words of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. Messed up the chords a little. I'll get it right.
La Bamba.
That was the last thing on my mind.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only. Hey, Scott.
Thanks for having us out.